for Johnny? Steve?
We'll pick up where we left off. Kind of what you see from the team today. It seemed like kind of a weird game, and you kind of rallied late and just came up a little bit short.
Yeah, I think, midweeks, when you're a Power 5 school, are games where you cannot mentally check out. And obviously this season, we've had some midweeks where we won, but at the same time, we kind of just, I wouldn't say we were, not locked into the game, but we weren't treating it as if it was a Friday night SEC game. And that's why we end up being in these situations in the ninth inning where we're having to compete and fight back. And today things weren't able to go the way we would like them to. But that's kind of what I think ended up happening today.
Steph?
Coaches talked about some of these midweeks where you guys have fallen behind. I guess just how important is it to get an early lead and to kind of build an early lead in these games?
Yeah, like for me, as someone who has been a part of a mid-major program and has also been part of a Power 5 program, for the Power 5 team, this game is meant for the younger kids. This is meant for them to get at bats. This is for them to see, like for example, Steve Speta. This game's meant for him to get better, because it shouldn't be a pressure game where we have to bring in our good arms that are going to be used on the weekend because we're not doing well. And I think for the mid-major team, is as someone who played for it, we love these games. I love these games because we have nothing to lose, and that's the aspect that I think we weren't able to compete against, because we kind of just have expectations for these games that we're going to win because we're the better team. So I think that's kind of all I got for that one.
Robbie?
You mentioned that. I mean, this is supposed to be kind of your off day, so to speak, and you come in there late in the ball game. You guys are down. What are you trying to bring there late in the game to try to get the team back on track? I mean,
for myself, I think it would be more of just the fact that I'm just gonna have I'm doing everything I can to keep my defense clean, and that's kind of the reason why I usually come in, just to make sure like there's no situations where the pitcher might not be comfortable throwing to a catcher with the runner in a scoring position, or just a little bit of experience. I can kind of manage things better and have a better idea of what's going on. So that's
Doug?
We scored a run in the first inning, then got the second one in the eighth, neither one off of a hit. And then suddenly in the ninth inning, everybody's hitting and you're scoring runs. I know it's not this simple, but can you put your finger on something that happened or was said or something that you could put in practice again?
I say it all the time in the dugout when we're in these games, like for us, and during these games, it's almost like we have to get punched in the face so many times for us to wake up. And that's an aspect that I think we need to improve on as a team, because these games aren't meant for us to fall short or even be close games. So I think, as soon as the ninth inning hit, we were like, all right, we got to wake up. We got to turn it on. We got to figure out some way to put it together. And today we just fell short.
Steve?
Speta has started the last two midweek games, with Joe being out a little bit. I know you're kind of the mentor there. What are you seeing from Stephen right now, and how would you assess his first couple starts?
I think it's great. As a freshman, or as someone, who has been in that role of being the guy who comes in for the midweeks as a freshman, it's a little bit of pressure, but, as games go by, you start getting more comfortable, and I can tell as you talk to him in the dugout that he's going to come along, and I think his future is incredibly bright. I think his bat is going to take him a long way in his baseball career, and I think as he gets older and he matures and he gets more experience behind the plate, he's going to do very well in his future.
Benjamin?
Coach was talking about a lot of the guys were just trying to hit home runs, seeing them blown out. He mentioned that you sort of always keep your approach short, and you're able to get that big hit in the ninth inning. Do you feel like that sort of served you well on a day like today when everyone was sort of just trying to do something?
I think like after 5 years, I know I'm not a home run hitter, so I kind of just accept the fact that swinging for the fences isn't my approach. I think more of just finding holes in the infield and just getting on base in general. Like I don't want to do too much. And Hunter Hines and Dakota, like they are guys who they can bang balls, and like that's kind of like what makes them their superstar talents and make them great players. But I think maybe they were trying to hit home runs in that situation, or maybe they weren't. If Hunter Hines or DJ did hit a home run, we'd all be saying thank God they hit a home run. So that's the part of baseball that's just such an unfortunate part of it.
Steph?
You talked too about the midweek opportunities that for these younger players. I guess how as someone who's experienced that, do you balance the pressure with wanting to perform, but also with the opportunity that these younger players have? How do they kind of flush out the pressure aspect of it?
Well, I think the pressure aspect came because we started making these midweeks a problem. And I think if we establish, a midweek game for these young kids is going to be something where they're just going to go in, get their reps, and we're going to win, they wouldn't probably have that pressure. But I think we almost, I would say, have a fear of these games because, it's been pretty consistent of what happens throughout the past couple of weeks. So I think, I think the older guys should take the blame on that. Like, I take the blame on that. I think us as a team, they shouldn't have to have pressure, or Steve Speta shouldn't feel pressure to play a midweek game. But at the same time, that's part of the game, and that's what makes you better, and that's also being a part of an SEC team and playing with the Mississippi State jersey on. You're going to have a lot of pressure, and that's what makes players great.
Robbie.
Hey, taking you back to this weekend, we saw the video where Lowe got the shirt after the game and he decided to give it to you, and we've heard some of your teammates talk about kind of your impact on this team. I mean, what's your thoughts on, your relationship with this team and the leadership you've kind of brought to the table, and what your role is on this team?
Before I got here, I really had no expectations of playing, and I was just so bought into just being a team guy and taking everything that I've learned from my freshman year to now and just flooding it into the brains of the younger kids, because I think it's just so vital that they just learn, especially kids on the bench who are frustrated. It's mid-season. They're like, every kid that's a freshman here is a superstar. They've never sat on the bench. They've probably never even been on a team that's lost before. And I think my knowledge and everything that I've taken from my past 5 years, I want to give it to them so they're able to learn and become a better teammate. Because I think at the end of the day, you could be a superstar, but if you're not a good teammate, it's not going to make you a better baseball player.
All right, thank you.